Hey everybody! It's Bunny Girl Bianca here. I'm continuing my stream of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So this is going to be my second stream ever. I thank everyone for tuning in. We are picking up where we left off. For this, I have a few announcements I want to get to first. I'm just starting out, but I already have ideas of what I want to do with this channel. So one of the first things I want to get to is I have a donate button. Not the actual donate sign, but below that, if you scroll down, you'll see where you can donate to my PayPal to help me pay for this project as I continue to try to make this into something that I continue to do as a part-time job. And also, I'd like to announce that I'm going to be running some games as a pro GM on Start Playing. I will be posting those up tomorrow, and I will provide links on my Twitch. Can I do that?
Yes.
Alright, and I'm going to be running 3 games. I'm going to be running Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd Edition, the Paths of the Damned module. It will be running on Wednesdays, 6 to 9. And that'll be not next week. Yeah, it'll be starting next week. So that's Wednesday the 14th, 6 to 9. I'll be running on the Start Playing. I'm going to post all that up tomorrow with links so that you can join it. It's going to be $15 per player per session. We'll be running the Path of the Damned campaign, which is the premier module from Green Ronin Publishing for 2nd Edition Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay that starts basically after the Storm of Chaos. If you don't know about the Storm of Chaos, I'll explain all that in the game. The other game I'm going to run on Tuesday nights is going to be the Legend of the Witchfire. This will be War Machine 5th Edition. That will start on Tuesday the 20th at 6 p.m. I'm going to be having 3 to 5 players in all these games. It's going to go until 9. I run the games through Start Playing, so that's where you'll be able to find them. This one is going to be $15 per person per session, at least until we get through with the Legend of the Witchfire module. If you're not familiar with War Machine, steampunk fantasy, basically in a fantasy world with trolls and all sorts of demi-human races and magic where there's big metal robots and gribbly big monsters controlled by wizards. And in this campaign, you start out at level 1, and this module goes until level 4. My price is $15 per player per session for if I'm running a module, but if we keep going past the Legend of the Witchfire, unless I run another module, it'll go up to $20 per player per session, because then I have to start doing the homebrew. But for now, this one is also $15 per player per session, and that should get us several weeks of play to get from level 1 to 4. And then the last game is going to be on Mondays, 6 to 9. It is going to be a Black Crusade game. Black Crusade is GW's, Games Workshop's role-playing game for evil campaigns, essentially, in Warhammer 40, in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It gives you the rules for playing Chaos Space Marines, playing Rogue Psychers, Pirates. In particular, we're going to be running a Prince of the Thousand Suns campaign, so it's like the opposite of a Rogue Trader campaign. you know, we're playing a rogue trader here, supposed to be loyal to the Emperor and explore all the unknowns for the Empire. Well, Princes of the Thousand Suns, Thousand Stars, are essentially the opposite. They're rogue traders who go heretical, which is what our rogue trader is going to do, and then become great, wealthy pirate princes with their own little fleets. And so one of the characters will need to play that prince, and the rest, everybody else will be kind of his retinue in the warband. Though, you know, with any evil campaign, the other characters are only really there as long as it benefits them. So it's not like there's a strict hierarchy. Anyway, that campaign will start up on Monday the 19th, 6 to 9, and will be advertised and start playing. That campaign will start out at $20 per player per session, 3 to 5 people, because it's going to be completely homebrew. And the goal of that campaign is just to see how much chaos and destruction y'all can cause. Like, can you conquer an entire sector? Maybe. I certainly hope so. Alright, so that's my announcements as far as role-playing games, other things I'm going to do. As far as this channel, I'm going to be streaming from now on 6 to 9, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So for now, we're going to be streaming Rogue Trader, and we're going to run through this campaign. There is an expansion for this game coming out on September 24th. It will probably require us to at least pause the game for a while because I'm using a few mods until those can be updated. I don't know if the campaign will be able to be continued after that DLC drops, so we're going to try to finish this one before September 24th. Try to finish this game before September 24th. And after that, what we're going to do is I'm going to have one night that's going to be for RPG games, one night where we play a strategy game, and then the third night will be whichever game you guys want to see most out of my entire collection. I have quite a lot of games, and I'm pretty bad at a lot of them, but it'll be entertaining to watch me get frustrated and screw up. The games I love are not necessarily the games I'm good at, but I always have fun playing them, and I think you'll have fun watching me play. Alright, so with that set, and I'm setting up my YouTube channel. I ran into a little snafu, so I won't be able to have it set up. I wasn't able to get it set up before today, but I'm going to have it set up by the weekend, where this episode and the previous one will be able to be viewed, and so you can watch them out of a playlist and they'll keep going. Alright, so let's load up our campaign. I've been playing back through my own campaign privately, just to kind of refresh myself on how the game plays. But we're going to pick up with...
Jolene.
Yeah?
Before you start up, your chat is not working. I wanted to give you the opportunity to get all of your spiel, but you need to right click on it.
Okay.
And then go to properties.
Okay.
All right. All right. So go to.
Oh, I know why. I changed the name of the Twitch channel.
Yep. That would do it.
Is this even broadcasting?
So you need to get a new. You need to go to the chat box in Streamlabs.
All right. And I go to Twitch. And sorry,
Where
guys.
is it? Prel.
Why don't I just go to Twitch and...
No, it doesn't work like that. Go to the left to Twitch and then click on Twitch and then click it again.
What if I refresh Streamlabs?
You do that. Or you can go and click on Twitch and then click it again.
I'm doing that.
Huh. That is weird. You don't want to add a variation. Subscriptions, bits, flags. Where the hell did it go? Because I saw it.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm new to this, and OBS apparently likes to...
This happens to the most veteran of streamers. Go back. Hit the back button.
Back to dashboard. Chat box?
Yes.
All right.
All right, so hit copy.
All right.
Now go to OBS. Or no, yeah. And then delete that and paste it there.
It's so big.
Now hit OK.
All right, I'm not seeing any chats, but...
All right.
Say something to me, somebody. Save me.
All right, your chat's not working. Because I'm chatting and nothing's popping up on it.
Oh no.
Go to Streamlabs.
All right.
Oh.
Are we sure this is the right?
Yeah, that's your widget. You hit copy.
Go back to OBS?
Yeah, go back to OBS, go there.
What if I delete chat and then recreate it?
Don't do that. Not yet, at least. Go to properties. Alright, so delete that. Make for the deletees.
It's such a long string. What the heck? Alright, Control V. Okay?
Yes.
Sorry, folks. I'm not a technical person, and JR the Ferret is helping me out with this while I get the hang of it, and therefore any problems are his fault.
Always my fault.
Absolutely.
Okay, still not working. So yes, you're gonna delete chat and then you're gonna bring it back.
All right. We're gonna get this. Remove. Yes. Add. All right. What am I adding?
You are adding. Let me see here. Browser. And then put chat.
Okay.
All right, now put in the hit paste.
All right.
Hit OK. No, don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, what the hell is going on with your chat? Why is it not working?
I don't know.
Hit undo. Go to edit and do undo.
Undo transformation sources?
Yes. Undo. 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 Alright, stop. Go over to where chat was. There it is. So it's still there. I just don't understand why it's not working.
Do I need to relink my... Well, no, I'm streaming to Twitch, so...
Go to OBS. Go back to Streamlabs.
So the account must still be linked, right?
Go to Alert Box. Test your alert. Do a test alert.
All right. Yep.
Okay, so that's connected.
Okay,
I
so
do
the
not
account is
understand
connected.
why chat is not working.
Maybe... What does this launch button do?
That, I think, launches a separate window that you don't wanna have to mess with. You know what? Just...
I mean, I can just have the Twitch up here, so...
Yeah, let's just do that, because right now, I don't know what's going on with it.
Alright, folks. Alright, so, back to playing the game. Just a quick recap of where we were at last time. We had just managed to escape the warp after putting down the rebellion sponsored by our dirty, filthy cousin, Conrad Voigtveer, who turned out to be an agent of chaos. That evil bastard. Can you believe it? Terrible, terrible. Who would serve chaos? Only the worst people. Anyway, so we managed to retake our ship, and we were declared the rogue trader of the new rogue trader, House von Valancius. Theodore von Valancius is dead, and we just got a report of all the problems we've got going on. We need to get 2,000 more crew because we lost like all of our officers. We need to get a new engine seer, chief engineer, and we need to get a new navigator to guide us through the warp before we can go anywhere else. We have jumped into the Rickad system, which technically belongs to another rotator in the Cronus Expanse called Caligos Winterscale, which we will later find out is a nut job. So now, but as we jump into the system, we discover that everywhere else in the system is even more screwed up than we are. And so somehow it falls to us to save everybody, including ourselves. So let's get to it. The first thing I like to do is talk to everybody. So, let's go talk to Voxmaster Vigdis. A thin, pale woman stands out amongst the rest of the crew. There is a thick bundle of cables coming out the back of her skull and disappearing under her ceremonial garment. And you see the grate of a quietly humming Vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in a respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Oh, maybe you should repost the new name for the chat to, or for the stream to your Discord, JR.
I am putting the word out.
Well, I say we go for the fellowship test. Fellowship 40. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster morale, the morale of my crew. Oh wait, I forgot to do her voice. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? You know, because she's got that Vox thingy. Yeah, so. We succeeded! And we gained 44 experience. Ooh, yeah! The Vox Master nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain. I'm gonna kill myself if I keep using that voice, so we're probably gonna stop. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. From the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. So who exactly are you that I just talked to and asked to do stuff? I don't even know. I just walked up and asked you to do a thing. I don't even know who you actually are. I am Vox Master Octavius Vigdis Suri Otta of the Toleban dynasty, the current Vox Master serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Vox Master Septimus, who was my grandfather. Daddy would be so proud. What are the Vox Master's duties? I am the ears and voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, and encrypt, decode all incoming, outgoing messages through 95.7 the seat. Sorry, I keep switching over to older channels. Through the ship's internal and external channels, we also ensure clean communications and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Voxcasters. If you ever want to know what worries and concerns your crew are harboring, NPR is glad to have you tune in to find out what our subjects are whispering out on local networks after their watches and what their leaders are climbing about over shortwave Vox transmissions. Just come and see me. You're turning her into baddie satisfy Coda. Your curiosity. What?
You're turning her into baddie Coda from the
Hey, a big part of this is me just entertaining myself, okay? So, you know...
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's baddie. Every time those little wires touched, his brains changed channel.
Yeah, well, that's the
price
problem.
Check
She's
on prune juice, Bob. Price check on prune juice.
Yeah, well, I gotta get around to other ones. You know, I can't do that voice all night. It wears out the throat. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Lord Captain. I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. Your appearance is unique. You are Voidborn, are you not? My appearance comes from the heritage generation after generation of people who spent their entire lives in the depths of the void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home, but the same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We are used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn! Where does the word Voidborn come from? Because we are the children born... Okay, I'm done with the voice. I'm done with this voice for now. It's too long, conversation too long. She switches to regular Atlantica accent, like the mid-Atlantic. I don't know if you know what that is. Back during the early days of radio and television, they didn't want to do like a British accent or an American accent because it was too. They were worried about being professional and sounding uncouth. But they also knew they couldn't pass as Brits, so you know. So they came up with this mid-Atlantic accent, which sounded like it was from nowhere, which is exactly what I have, I'm sure. It's because I'm cultured. Because we are children born in the void, between the stars, be it the womb of a traveling vessel, an orbital satellite, or a forgotten asteroid station. Low gravity, voyages through the warp, and countless dangers of space travel. Everything others hate and dread is second nature to us. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn and my crew. Alright, well, let's see what you have to say there. To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. Yeah, right. We are part of the ship, just like it is a part of us. We perform numerous functions. There are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny. Others serve as shepherds and support the crew. Some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. And some spend most of their time just hanging out in the hidden corners getting high. Most of the Voidborn are lazy, shiftless, worthless piles of garbage. But some are part of large dynasties that bear responsibility for certain aspects of the ship's life, or at least pretend to, so that it can keep sloughing along. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptoleman dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters. Most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of that dynasty. So in other words, nepotism! How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. Which means I know how to count to 10. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Wow, that sounds bad. Cronyism is the worst. Our family claims a spacious section for its demesnes. They got, like, castles inside this ship. I don't know if you realize how big these ships are, but they're, like, kilometers long. And this is just like a small ship, right? Like a little frigate. You know, battleships can be the size of Manhattan with millions of people living on them. By virtue of my skills and position, our family claims a spacious section for its mints. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages. So does this mean no one can see the chat but me?
No, we can see the chat on your actual stream.
Okay, good.
It's just not popping up in the stream window.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
It's just bad, bad, bad. Voxmaster Vigdis says, we look, speak, move, inhabitants of the planetary world, inhabitants of the planetary worlds, our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people. You know, because we got speakers for mouths. Many believe us to be bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get blamed for the terrible warp phenomenon during long voyages. And you see, that makes no sense. They're always on the ships. Wouldn't getting a warp storm be like because of something out of the ordinary? That's like saying waves happen because the ship has a crew. If there just wasn't a crew, you wouldn't have to worry about storms. Then again, no one ever said the Imperium was full of people who made any sort of sense. Vigdis hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and ferocious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I mean, that's just natural. I mean, come on. Who hasn't turned to a little cannibalism every now and then? I would have been killed during the mutiny had Adira's last not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. But aren't they all Voidborn? That's what confuses me. Looks like you are close friends with Adira. Masked Voxter Vigdis. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corner of Vigdis' eyes, the only hint that the Voxmaster is smiling. Really? Because I think that she'd be demon-possessed is what that means. That's what I would assume.
Did everybody come?
The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage. Alright, I'm going to try for the voice again, because I'm getting a little tired of doing the regular thing. We're going to switch it up back and forth here. But you see, many consider Adira to be different. I too am different, strange, unusual, out of the ordinary. A little bit. Queer. We have spent plenty of time in each other's companies discussing regicide over a glass of Amasek. What is regicide? Regicide is a human tabletop game played across the Imperium of Man, similar to the ancient Terran game of chess. So it's chess. It's chess. What is Amasek? A potent alcoholic drink of varying quality, widely available across the Imperium. So it's vodka. They drink vodka while talking about chess. These are some of the most boring people in the galaxy. Voxmaster Vigdis. Except Adira changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Adira considers me her friend now, but we used to be very, very, very close. It is good I can still look after her in my own way. Interpreting the Voxmaster's emotions based on a half face and a Vox-modulated voice is no easy task, but you managed to catch the undercurrent of Vigdis' words. The Voxmaster is not merely saddened by a rift with Adira, she is devastated by it. Have you ever left the ship? Oh, I did once. It was trouble! It felt like the massive blue dome overhead could shatter my at any moment and fall, and my bones were beat right by the gravity. Vigdis twitches her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Lord Captain, and I would not trade it for even the bounty of 100 worlds. I see. Let us return to business. As you wish, Lord Captain. And with that, we're finally done with her. And we might occasionally come back to her if she's got some rumors or stuff, which is actually kind of useful. But I'm a completionist. I warned you guys about this. I like to go through every conversation, and I want you to get all the lore. Because that way I can guarantee you'll get bored and leave my stream. Alright, so let's go down here and talk to some more people. Master Helmsman Ravor? Oh god. This is like if Australians were paler and had implants. Which is kind of Australians in a way anyway. Maybe not. I don't know. I was trying to make a slam at the Australians, but I'm not very good at it. The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons of muscle. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in a cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain! Master Helmsman Ravor at your service! This man can barely speak. Remind me, who are you? Why am I talking to you? Why don't I kill you right now this second? I'm the Master Helmsman, Lord Captain. I stand at the wheel this up. I'm in your vessel, and but commands are taken to the joints of the arms. In layman's terms, I am the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or a disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. So you fly the ship basically. That's what you do. Damn Skippy! I steer her through the warp. Most of the credit goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare. Always tossing up something new, like pygmies and Furbies. Oh my god, you wouldn't believe that infestation of Furbies we got one year. That was bad. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough. So small that my wife doesn't even notice. I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and I don't pick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space? Real space is a term used to refer to the material universe as opposed to the warp. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, all radiation, that kind of shite shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor, the Augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spur some backgammon. Oh my god. Please tell me the other people you're in charge of are not as dumb as you. There are too many morons to list them all. Oh Jesus, God help us. Tech priests from the ingenuity and voidsmen from the over decks, the work shy fools on the bridge, including me. I actually do as little work as possible. That's my nap cove under the desk. I keep my own plushie there for snuggling. I'd have every last one of them flogged, but they'd enjoy it too much. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape. Whipped so good. Or else this ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere, which will be horrible. I need to get away from you, or I'm going to kill myself. And this game will not last. Right you are, Lord Captain. I need some water after that. I will not always be doing voices, just for characters, alright? So just a random dude I'm not going to do voices for. But for important characters, I will do voices. Mostly because it keeps me entertained. I have a really difficult time paying attention to any text I'm reading. I just want to blitz through it. As someone who wants to be a writer, that's really not a good trait to have. So I guess you're from this ship. Which I dear God, which really makes me sad, which means you're never always going to be here. God help me. That I am, born into a helmsman clan in the bowels of a chartist vessel. Studied the family trade till I was 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by a lower old Scot. They spared the young ones, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me. So I escaped into crowways and then I spent months picking them off one after another. Because I was 8-year-old Rambo. That's right, they based that movie on me. I did not learn from it. They based it on me. Ravel stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm Volborn. That's all you really want to know, I guess. Indeed, that will be enough. We're not going to finish the story. I'm sorry if that was really important to you guys, but I can't do it anymore. I can see you're not very knowledgeable about how to relate to other living beings. Oh, I've done some displeased, little captain. Ooh, shall I get on the floor and lick your boots? Honestly, you're the first person who hasn't immediately jumped to lick my boots, and I love it. It's disturbingly hot. I am really ashamed of myself in this moment. Oh yeah? Well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you haven't had me flogged for insubordination. Because I am one of the few people on the ship that does not actually enjoy that. The wonders never cease. The helmsman perpetually twisted mouth twitches. His twisted mouth twitches? That's bad alliteration. As if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Raver points at the cables around himself. Connecting wires, once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship, except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus ejectors and connectors when they implanted them. Excuse me. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. You'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles and all calm. Someone who deals with migraines, my friend. I understand. I'm going to skip asking about the Voidborn because we've already talked about that. Can you trash talk the officers for me? I would love that. Spill the tea, baby. Good for nothing wasters, that's what they are. Glad to see your opinion of everybody is consistent. Each and every one. Take Janus Danrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he make will get him burned alive. Okay, I gotta stop this voice. My voice is going. He dragged other people into his scheme so they can take the fall for him, too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from football for him. Got caught by the Seneschal and ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. The Voxmaster, another Tolomon like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. Okay, so this guy's getting on her about the nepotism, but didn't he just say he comes from a clan of helmsmen? Nepotism. Hypocrites. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up the post. Said the Vox systems were damaged and the Engineerium had no contact with the other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the COGS reports with the power of my mind? First officer were Sarian. I can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void. But he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him had to have words a few times before he left me alone. Thank the Emperor, Lady Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when it came to helming a void ship. There's that woman. What's her name? I just call her woman. Or that. Sometimes jambalaya. Lady Theodora brought her along wherever she went, and look what happened to her. She got really bad gas from the jambalaya and it exploded. I would be surprised if it turns out that it was the witch that delivered her to an early grave, just like countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship. But some would disagree. They say she's friends with young Tolomon, you know, or at least she used to be. So you don't like anybody, like no one. Do you even like yourself? No, I hate myself. I genuinely despise myself. I spend every night beating my head against the console and telling myself how horrible I am. question is that, though? I like you. Yeah, right. And Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? I don't want to die just yet. I need to get out of here. I need to leave. God help me, I need to leave. Let's talk to Lady Argenta.
Rogue trader.
Ooh, this one I don't have to talk about. Everybody can hear her talking. Let me know if you can.
I indeed have a request, rogue trader.
The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of our loyal crew members, and they offered many children, including the progeny of brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Bon Valencia territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans? What will meeting with them do? These children are the future of your crew, and one day they too will have to stand against evil and heresy in their basic. It's so sad, it makes me want to shoot somebody! By meeting them, by speaking the right words to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to the heroes in the making. They will always remember the day they met the rogue trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphan spirits, help them recover from their loss, which can be hard for someone so young. Okay, so normally I would go meet with them because I love. There's an option which lets you tell them basically, tough luck. Get your shit together and but since the latest update, it's been bugged. And so every time I go down there, I get stuck. And I cannot actually deliver the address, and I cannot leave the area. So what we're going to do is the next best thing. Deliver this order on my behalf. The orphans are properly provided for, but a personal meeting with the rogue trader is too much. As you wish, rogue trader, Argenta says with a hint of disappointment. Oh, I broke her poor little sister heart.
Lord Captain.
Alright, so this is where we're going to actually find useful information.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you. This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse. And in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness.
Oh. Lawlessness is such a nice thing to have sometimes, though. I mean, sometimes you need a little lawlessness, you know, to get you through the day. You know what I mean?
Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory. And they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
Yeah, Incendia's just... she's very annoying. I will not use coarse language.
If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse. You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight. We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps. As you wish, Lord Captain.
Alright, let's find out a little bit about Abelard, or maybe...
As you wish, Lord Captain. I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, a used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue trader's army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue trader's personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was.
Honestly, she seemed kind of
her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who
had
had built a
herself killed.
protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse. You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. The Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point.
He was a back
It is
talker.
challenging to choose the words
Had
to
sass.
accurately express my opinion
And
on a
now
situation or the actions of
he is
others that do
incredibly
not
boring
sound
and has a
overly
massive stick-up
scathing
spot.
or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank. What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Yeah, he had a photo collection of her. We're gonna leave it at that.
I am a widower. I am a father of 4. And if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship. And I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps. Of course.
Alright, let's say goodbye to this guy.
Lord Captain.
And you know what? I'm tired of wandering around. Let's go look at the map. Alright, so we find ourselves in the Recod system. There are 5 places we can go to. We're going to have some more conversations with people on the deck, but we're going to disperse that out. We can go to Recad Majoris, and nothing is there. Not a daggum thing. We can go to Recod Philia, where there's a prison revolt. And the only thing we find there is the Son of Caligos Winter Scale, which sucks. We can go to this unidentified void ship, which are smugglers, but they have some good stuff early on, which we could use to equip our people. The really important ones, though, the ones we really need to hit up, are Eurac V, where we're going to get our navigator Cassia, and Recad Minoris, where we're going to get our engine seer and our other 2,000 people we need. Now, it doesn't change the story, but the order we go to them in changes what we see when we get there. The last one we go to, things are way more messed up, and there's more enemies to fight. I think we should go to Eurac V first. We'll go to Recad Majoris. Even if you know there's nothing on a planet, scanning it gets you a little bit of experience. So it's worth it to scan every planet. So let's go to Eurac V. Lord Captain, reporting the heralds of the Navis nobility to continue to invoke silence, perhaps due to Eurac V being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobility House requires aid and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmissions, or perhaps they just find me infinitely annoying as you do. Contact them again. I will negotiate personally. I am sorry, Lord Captain. This station does not reply even after an official's reading by a rogue trader declaration of your intent to negotiate person. Order them scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain! The officers from the Argot crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We're able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators heralds ignoring us? Everybody in this game is extremely talkative. If you guys want me to just skip through this text, tell me. If you like the voices, don't say anything. I'll just keep doing them. They're keeping me entertained. Turn back! No one dares give me orders! No, Lord Captain, of course not. Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. Alright, well, let's grab our peeps and go kick some booty. Bahu Hate. Oh, schmunkies. Somebody doesn't like libraries.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Yeah, super glue will do that to you.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Well, this is running. I'm going to make a quick wee because I have a tiny bladder. Don't forget to donate. I need money bad. I'm back! I don't know about y'all, but I find that with leggings, while they are quite comfortable, they tend to want to slide down all the time, so I have to really pull them up to get them to stay in place. The tall man stops with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his gray face. And not just his own blood, the two jet black unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lower lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash the horrors of the seas of souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Sea of Souls is the warp. That thing we escaped from where all the mini baddie. You see, when people ask me who I am in this game, my favorite thing is just go, Abelard, tell them. Because he loves doing it. Before you stands her ladyship, the rogue traitor Bianca von Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronis Expanse, and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that the nobility custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances on her station, her ladyship the rogue trader is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. In this case, I should turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. Ooh, he wants to get feisty. He doesn't know who he's dealing with. I'll set him on fire with my mind. There's a dangerous glint in the man's dark, shrouded eyes. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felix Christoph August, keeper of this place. So you did not arrive to offer support to the traders? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Eurac V is the holy sanctum for House Orsilio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. Well, you should check that list again, because I don't want to come back in a turtle suit. We'll call back to a Dana Carvey movie that I never actually watched. God, that's the worst comment I've ever made. I'm ashamed of myself. Let's see. I'm going to cut straight to the point. I came here in search of a navigator, so you are coming with me. Is that so? I do not think so. You cannot force me. You can only end my life. But this is not your heart's desire, is it? Perhaps we can help one another and reach a more beneficial agreement. What agreement? You came to this station for a reason. House Orsilio will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. But if you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find satisfying. Be riches, influence, or the powers of the navigators. What is happening on this station? Betrayal, the most banal thing in the life of the nobility. Don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orsilio. This guy is a snake. Not Theobald. The second keeper of Eurac V and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum, I swear by the thrones like their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felix fell silent for a few moments, ashamed of his own excess grandiosity. And then he just decides to lean into it. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia, and are now torturing upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her, be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. Okay, man, whatever, just chill the hell out. Chill the fuck out, okay? I would never ask for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Oh no. And yet Lady Cassie's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left. I used to have, 24 friends. Now I've got, just these schmucks here. They're not even the ones that are good at cards. My wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness, but you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chambers, you will need to make a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orsilio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. He wants you to make an elevator key. Wow. This is what we've fallen to. Fetch quests for elevator keys. I have one part, the other was lost during the mutiny, but even the relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. Don't ask me how I got her blood. No, I didn't slip into her room at night and suck it out with my teeth. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms that helped to rebuild the rod, and the tech priest ceaselessly performed the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its times of need. The fateful hour is upon us now. You do not want to know what they were doing with that machine. So how am I supposed to power the elevator? The main station's cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence. I like big butts and I cannot lie. And the sacred mechanism will do the rest. If it's so simple, why don't you do it yourself? I never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis nobility or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, which I currently happen to lack. Great. Sure, whatever, man. I will rescue your mistress, but in return I acquire the House of Arcelio, sign a contract with my protectorate. Felix's reply sounds curtain tired. So be it. Hurry, the mistress's safety is all that matters. But should you fail, our arrangement is finished. Okay, so let's look at the map. Looks like there's a little bit of stuff we can loot over here in the corner. Ooh, always loot everything. Loot everything, especially goods. We got here a multi-key, which is going to let us get another chance to unlock stuff, but we're going to keep our stats high enough that as soon as we get our party full, we won't have to worry about that being a problem at all. Alright, let me go back to my thing. Make sure everybody... Okay, good.
Embrace
let me
true
look at
power.
my inventory, make sure everybody's got the right weapons. Goody-goody two-shoes, and a poo-poo-poo-poos. I'm going to give her an auto pistol. And she's got a scrappy auto gun. He's got a las pistol. And a scrappy auto gun. And I've got a corrupted inferno pistol. And a well-maintained axe. I really got to replace that psychic staff with a pyromancer staff, but we'll get there.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
White. Bright, pure color. And it's all riddled with horrible veins that
awareness
carry
test. The
poison,
corpses are mauled by a
fear,
force
and
far
pain
beyond mortal
throughout the
capacity.
body.
Faces are twisted in pain, and the hands are fused and improvise weapons. Tools, scissors,
Why are
and
you crying?
cutlery.
If
Well, I
the
hope they
witch
use
is
the good
talking about the
knives.
of humanity who set upon this abode of noble
Multipass.
navigators, then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Oh, shoot. Okay, anytime we spot a trap with a perception test, the game pauses and reveals where the trap is.
Over there.
You don't want to run over traps. It's not fun. So this is going to be a demolition check. Since we have everybody
Duty
selected, it'll pick
prevails.
the person with the best skill to try to disarm the trap. And we gain a little bit of experience when we do that.
Never doubt me.
Yay!
I tread a path unexplored.
Let's see, we can all add tab to see if there's anything. No. Alright, so let's go around. Go to Medicaid.
The
We're gonna make a
Emperor
Medicaid check,
favors me
which
today.
passed. 2 experience. Oh, everybody killed themselves in this place. Can you believe that? That's awful. We get some junk to add for trading. And we get another thing over here, some more goods. Some more Catechism of St. Drusus. Yeah, it's just junk. Alright. I mean, this stuff is important. It's worth like 1 or 2% towards getting good stuff. So like, no! Looks like we're in a fight. Oh, come on. We don't even have anybody in our group called Will.
Your struggles are in vain.
For the Emperor!
Should we try to fix that now? My webcam not being in sync? That seems like kind of a big one. Okay, I'm gonna put Argenta over there since she's a mid-ranger. I'm a front field fighter, so I'll go right there. He's a front field fighter, so he'll go right there. This little gap is going to be a problem. If we let anybody block it off. And we got Adira. Adira is going to be back here because Adira has a tendency to explode. So we keep her kind of 2-3 squares away from everybody else. Alright. Adira goes first. Let's see. I'm going to have Adira put forewarning on me, so I'm a little bit easier to keep safe. She's got 4 AP. She spent 1 on forewarning. She's going to put an exploit on the guard defender. And then she's going to lightning him.
Farewell.
Heck yeah! Double lightning. Killed 2 guys.
Weapon at the ready.
Adira gets really good at dropping
Follow my lead.
like 1 guy at a time
Stay
if
vigilant.
you get her the right powers. That's why for her second archetype I often go with Bounty Hunter.
Prescience has failed me.
Break their morale.
It does mean you need to invest in her perception. But if you go with Bounty Hunt, if you go with something else, you have to invest in multiple other skills. That generally ends up being the easiest in terms of things that aren't going to cost a lot. Let's see. Can we reach anybody? 30%? 30%? Let's set this guy on fire. That'll definitely work.
Purpose guides me.
Fine.
Death shall reign.
Alright, so even if you can't make it into combat with a charge, it's always good to use it as just an extra movement, at the very least. Since we couldn't get in combat and we have a point left, we're just going to endure to make ourselves a little tougher. End our turn, and then we get to Abelard. Alright, so Abelard run up. Abelard pop breaks for impact, which at the moment does nothing, but we will eventually pick up a couple of buffs for that. One of the most important things you can get with abilities is buffing your existing powers. He's just going to go ahead and fire his laser. He's going to be firing his laser. Ooh, lucky hit. Nice. And he's going to run around using charge. Run around using charge. Alright.
Weather the storm.
And now these losers are going to try to hurt me.
My faith strengthens me.
What was he shooting at? Did you see that? It was like all of... I don't even think he was in the same... He was shooting at the same wall. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. I would be ashamed of myself if I were him.
Rejoice in battle.
Alright, so if I have her do a burst fire, she's going to hit all my own people. So she's going to do a single shot and try and hit this guy. Which she misses, so she's going to run and gun. She moves a little farther forward. Gets a little closer. Fortunately, run and gun is going to make her winded, which is a -10 penalty to her ballistic skill, but at least it gets enemies in her normal range
As
instead
the
of
Emperor
maximum,
commands,
which
I act.
means overall she's got the same odds of hitting, which is none. She can't hit the broadside of a barn. Hey, Ashen Knight! Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ashen Knight, our first-time chatter. Alright. Well, first-time chatter is JR the Ferret, who is kindly enough providing moderation and text.
Cover me.
Alright, so we're gonna run her up. Oh my gosh. Adira. Okay, so you notice the red lines? That's range on things, so she can't really hit much of anything. So what she's gonna do is, since analyze enemies is longer range, she's gonna use that first on the squad commander. Now, her exploits don't help anyone but her, unless we use expose weakness, which trades in her exploits for an overall larger penalty to his dodge and his parry and his armor, based on the number of exploits he has. She can't really do anything else. She can't reach... She can put forewarning on Argenta, and that's pretty much going to be her turn. She's kind of out of actions.
Follow my lead. For the glory of the Imperium! Die!
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Break their morale!
Ah, da, 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 come on. Look at this, Sister Argenta. These mooks are more accurate than you. They're doing no damage because of my armor and toughness, but still. It's shameful, Sister Argenta. It's just
Amidst the
shameful.
carnage, I find
You
purpose.
should be ashamed. Alright, so we're going to charge this guy directly in the face. Haha, heal that! And we hit him with the melta. Ooh, we hit him with the melta hard. He go melta boom. Alright, she's a warrior, so she's going to use her Daring Breach so she can get a full other turn with an additional 4 MP. But before we do that, she's going to pop in Duel. And then we'll pop in Daring Breach.
Reshaped.
And I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to chop some people. Because I like to go choppy chop. Choppy 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 chop chop chop. I'm going to use my... Oh, no! I can't use... wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you have to carefully pick your location. I thought maybe the pillar would stop me from swinging on them both, but...
I reject the very idea.
Dang it. I'm going to choppy face him.
Death shall reign.
And I'm going to choppy face him.
Purpose guides. A blood.
Oh, God, I love choppy facing. Let's move over here and see if we can get somebody in flame range. No! Downsides of having a melta pistol. Just out of range. I wanted to kill him so bad. It would have been fun to kill him. Oops, I goofed. I shouldn't have put him in there. Alright, so I gotta run him back around.
Victory is imminent.
See, by putting him there, he can only charge, like, basically forward. It's like screwed up.
At your
Alright, so
beck and
we will
call.
have him go blasty blast. And he's out of points. Yay. Alright, Argenta, I believe you can be mildly useful. You can hit something, somewhere, maybe. You can do it! 46% chance! And you miss. Good job. Good job.
Follow my lead. My ears are ringing.
I can tell you, the Emperor's not going to give you some sweet loving tonight, honey. Not for that kind of performance.
What is this?
Alright, so we're going to run her up. And he's still out of range. Oh, but this guy is in range. We can mind blast him.
Anything else?
Bow, bow, bow. This is the nice thing about mental powers. Yes, there's a risk that her head could explode. But if her head doesn't explode, then she can make somebody else's head explode with a 100% chance of hitting it, which is a nice plus in my book. Let's get this guard defender with exploit weakness and
Was that you? Or
exploit weakness is not very powerful right now, but eventually it's really good later on when you get instant exposure, so you can do it for no AP cost, and weak body, weak soul, which means that they not only suffer a penalty to armor and dodge, but they also suffer penalties to their toughness, which literally reduces their hit points. You apply it, and it's like they take damage from it. It's great. Let's have you run. Oh my gosh. I really had to get better about lining up my charges.
I will triumph.
Fine. Let's light the squad commander on fire.
Purpose
Endure,
guides
jump
me.
to the next person. Alright, Abelard. Get a charge!
I will do my duty.
Alright, alright. He cuts him good. Cut him again, cut him again, cut him again.
Well struck.
Oh yeah, that's what I like.
At your
That's what
beck
Mommy
and call.
likes. She likes it when you saw them in half.
I will
Alright,
bathe
Argenta,
this
let's see if we can
battlefield
actually hit
in
this guy.
righteous fury.
We're gonna have you now. I have a 25% chance to hit with a burst fire. 52% chance to hit with a single shot. Let's go
That
for
is
it.
for
Maybe
the
she'll get
weak.
incredibly lucky. Oh, she hit! Oh my god! Alright, she's gonna run a gun again. I am a gambler at heart. You just gotta take as many shots as you can.
God Emperor,
You always miss the shots you
Be
don't
the
take.
fire in my
Okay?
heart.
That's
As
the
the
saying.
Emperor commands,
32%
I
chance.
act.
Can she kill him? No! 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 Ugh, Argenta, you need glasses. I'm ashamed. I'm thoroughly ashamed of having you around. Alright. Can you finish him off? Yes!
But of course.
Explode his head! She doesn't even actually make a sound. She literally, like, transmits a scream into your brain that's so loud, it makes your head explode. She telepathically screams inside your brain so loud, your head goes BOP! Which has just gotta be about the worst way to die. Alright, and then we'll expose weakness. So, she's an operative, so what operatives do is they tend to stack exploits. Exploits reduce people's, give bonus damage and stuff, but they only give bonuses to the operative. There are eventually abilities you can get which will allow your allies to also benefit from your exploits. But for the moment, we only help her. However, if she uses exposed weakness, she can convert those exploits into penalties to parry, dodge, and armor until her next turn, which will help out.
Death shall reign.
The fire to kill him. I was about to say Abelard, but the fire took care of it. I might want to give this black chest plate to somebody. Alright, let's hold on tab, see if there's any more stuff. There's some goods there. Intercepted conversation. Tremendous honor! Yes, but this promotion will transfer the entire squad to the child's personal guard. By the God Emperor! Well, you are a strapping lad. You will probably make it for a cycle of 3. It has worn down better men than me. What even is the point if your brains turn to mush? I may rip out my eyes like Amos did. At best, I'll just go bonkers like that little shit stain that kept stealing our Ilho. Oh, what happened to that one? Threw himself out of a depressurized chamber because some voices told him to. Calm down. Keeper Felix said the squad will... Let's go to info so we can read the whole thing. Keeper Felix said the squad will not have to serve the child for long. He even gave us a little leeway. Unlike that fish-eyed, be quiet! He might hear you. Well, you know what I mean. He almost busted our heads because someone forgot to check the catering unit. We haven't let in a single outsider in over 10 years, but Keeper Theobald keeps finding things to fret over. Imagine the shrieking if he finds out Keeper Felix didn't make us inspect the hangar after Lord Winterscale's most recent visit. Throne forbid! That's like their tabernacle, which is like the Quebecois version of shit. I try to steer clear of the squabbles among the highborns. Some of Keeper Felix's orders make little sense. Like the last time he commanded that we cut off communications with Recon Minoris for a while. Why would he do that? It looks like he grew tired of the Winterscale Scion's visits. Well, it's always a pleasure to aid Keeper Felix. That's right, if the highborn have grown tired of each other, let them deal with it. Ooh, sounds like there's division among the ranks. Dun, dun, dun.
Intriguing.
Okay, so the scrappy auto pistol is crap. The las gun is going to be better than a scrappy auto gun. We already have a flak. What we want to do is we want to move things to cargo gradually because it puts them into stuff we can sell later and takes space out of our inventory. In this game, you don't actually have to worry about weight. Is it as free? No. This game railroads you pretty hard. You do get some choices. Hello, the Sakuma drops. You do get some choices, but it does railroad you pretty hard. But then again, if you've played Pathfinder Kingdoms or Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which are also Howlcat games, they railroad you pretty hard too, but not nearly as bad as this one. But I don't want that underselling on the game, because quite frankly, I love this game. I love this game because the real excitement for me in playing this game is the 1,001 ways you can build characters. You can really kind of run them so many different ways. There's so much gear you can do. The combats are certainly interesting. This is like my 4th playthrough, and I still enjoy it. And just I'm a massive 40K fangirl, so you know, I love this stuff. I love this shit. All right, let's go to inventory, and I wanted to see. Oh, I already have a flak chest plate for her. What about her? She's got a mesh chest plate, and a flak chest plate would be worse. So they're gonna add that to cargo. Let's see. Wersurian's got a scrappy autogun. I want him to have a decent ranged weapon. He may need to actually use it, so I'm gonna drop the scrappy autogun. I am going to actually swap out the las pistol for an auto pistol, because the las pistol has a single shot capacity. So you're probably wondering, why haven't I given this cloak to anyone? It's because this cloak is really only useful for one character, which I won't get until chapter 1. So we have to go through this, or chapter 2. So we have to go through this entire chapter 1 before really we get to the character that this cloak is best for. There's no other character right now that really benefits from it, but on this other character that we're going to get in chapter 2, it is amazing. It's great for her. So I'm keeping it in my inventory so I don't accidentally trade it out later. You'll see when I actually get to some trading how that can happen. But for now, we're just going to keep it in the inventory so it doesn't get accidentally sold off. Alright, so go to tab. Is there... yeah, there's plenty of other loot to collect. More loot! More junk! Ooh. Another thing to read. Pontius Scipius Galasius on the training of worthy servants at the court of the Nabis Nobilitae. A good major domo attempts to nurture only the finest of flowers in the garden that is the master's life. Therefore, new seeds for the garden must be weeded out with the utmost care, so that garden's trees may yield the sweetest fruits. Wow, this guy is really finding a very flowery, and fancy way to talk about something really disturbing. The lessons below will help you separate the precious seeds from the vile thorns to cultivate the perfect garden for the lady navigator. Lesson 1. A faithful servant always makes sure their mistress's rooms and garments are clean. I honestly don't have anything to say about that one. That's just, everybody should make sure you have a clean dwelling. I mean, that's just general rules. A faithful servant will never offer their mistress the same dress presented earlier in the cycle. How long is the cycle? No one knows! It's Labor Day. You gotta count it from Labor Day. If you forget, off with your head! God help you if you actually wear the same thing as her. Whew! A faithful servant offers their mistress a glass of fresh water upon waking, and promptly spills it in her lap. You know, they don't say what the temperature of the water should be. Could it be fresh boiling water? God, I would make a terrible servant. A faithful servant tastes each dish and every drink before serving it to their mistress. That way she can be sure to have their spittle in it. A faithful servant will have mastered the art of styling their mistress's hair. The total time that 5 servants can spend on arranging their mistress's coiffure should not exceed 3 revolutions of the chronometer. So is that 3 minutes? Is that 3 hours? I am so confused. I'm lost on all this. But it's nice that you're going to give it a good quaff. I need to get a good quaff. I'm going to go poof. A faithful servant lives for their mistress and gladly gives their life for her as well, even if their paycheck isn't enough to buy food. Lesson 7. A faithful servant, well, No one really cares about lesson 7. If you still haven't figured it out by now, you're not a very good servant. Let's see. We're gonna need another las gun to give to Adira, because she's still got a scrappy auto gun, which is rather crappy actually. So you know, I wanted that to cargo. Now she's got a halfway decent range weapon in case she ever needs to shoot, which actually would have been pretty good during the last fight, because ranged rifles tend to have much longer ranges than... So, because it's got a brown border, it's going to be a quest item. These tend to just pile up in your inventory. You can throw them away, but I don't ever bother. You can't put them in cargo. I don't ever bother because, once again, you don't have a weight limit.
Nothing matters
or
more.
A space capacity in this thing. Like, it just keeps adding more space. Ooh, we passed the check. Statue of the famous Calixian sculptor and chronicler Zacharias Vernon the Magnificent, the 23rd of this millennium, original. Which means we need to blow it up. Because we, in this channel, we hate art. We hate art. Art is a sin against God.
Let's seize the opportunity.
And we hate God, so actually we love art. Okay, so still no equipment that's of any value whatsoever. You get a lot of junk in these early quests. So much junk. All the junk in your trunk. But you got to be thorough, because there are a few things here and there that are actually worth getting. And Ripper Auto Pistol. This is a good one to get. Okay, so this is a good weapon to get because it's an actually pretty decent pistol at this stage. It's got a little better damage than a regular auto pistol. It's got better armor pin. It's got a higher rate of fire. It's got same range, more ammo. The great thing about it, though, is it just fires a heck ton more shots when you do a burst fire. So, actually a really good one to have him have as a starting gun. Alright, so let's go to map. Oop, we missed a little bit. So, see these little chests with the eagle on them? That means that there's an item we missed that we could have picked up. And it's just some goods. We'll need that. Another quest item. Alright. Alrighty then. Yeah, that's what it does it, alright. Go through the door.
A revelation was sent to me.
A good servant always triggers the maps ahead of their mistress.
I better myself through my service. Damn warp.
Yeah, she's a
If we'd
sub,
been in
by
real
the way.
space,
Massive sub.
I'd have...
More goods. Ooh, a door.
Spare me your
More
wailing
doors.
witch. Every
Doors
voice
are the
that sounds
best.
in your mind
I
is a
love
whisper
doors.
of the archenemy.
Okay, so you see, this one can't be disarmed right here. The little red line means that the trigger is actually on the other side of that door. So we need to go back. So if we try to walk around, we are going to get ourselves exploded.
Compared to
We're going to do athletics, and that'll clear this space here. Ooh, noble silk gloves. A bonus to persuasion. Okay. Alright, and we go back to this door.
Unexpected result.
Okay. Alright, and then we go disarm the trap.
Never doubt me.
You get a little experience. Is there anything in this room? No, there's nothing.
The world will bow.
Get those goods. And we come through here. Did you hear the screams? Move! Sir, you alright? We can't hear anything. See, if you arrive here late, he's already killed everybody and clawed his eyes out. Now I see you are in league with them. Is this an insurrection? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors! Get a hold of yourself, sir! Ah! I know you're all traitors. Traitors, all of you. They told me. They whispered. Hey, who are you? Like, I killed everybody. Kill everybody. Oh, hey, how you doing? There are heretics, and they said, no, this isn't my ship. We're on Eurac V. We're on Eurac V. We're trying to get ourselves a little navigator here. A little yum navigator. A little squishy bushy, as... Okay, actually,
The world
what do they say? Did it say...
beneath my feet.
Is it Ushi Bushi, Squishy Bushy?
Experience.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I'm not just making nonsense. Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob. Alright.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Abelard, too full of yourself. No, we are on a space station. Ooh, Carapace chestplate. This is a really good piece of light armor. Because it's as good as the flak chestplate, but doesn't have the penalty to dodge. And this is a long las, which could be useful to certain characters. I don't really think we're gonna need it, but we're gonna put it in our inventory just in case. Alright, and I am gonna have to go take another wee because my blood sugar is at like 300. Yeah. 300. Be right back. Talk to the chair. Okay, the chair, she's very nice, she's very sweet. She's a little weird. Okay? Don't stare her directly in the eyes or she might try to crawl through the screen and kill you. Just kind of look a little off to the side. As long as you do that, she can talk about anything, really. She loves to talk about trade relations in the South China Sea. Favorite topic. We're back! Everyone's back. I hope chair didn't bore you too much. Alright. Okay. Alright, so what are we doing? Alright, yeah, we're gonna run over here and we're gonna steal this guy's stuff. So there's nothing better than vandalizing the dead. I mean, honestly, the first thing I do whenever I see a corpse is I go through his pockets looking for loose change. Keeper Theobald graciously, research notes of Navis Laboratorum Custodian Fortunato Arcelio Part 13. Wow, that is a mouthful. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growth so we could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis nobility. How nice of him to provide samples of his skin growths. Wonderful. Great. Just as we thought, navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp. The God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. I must ready the organ extraction equipment. Wow. Real Island of Dr. Moreau crap going on here. Adamantine dust in Blackwater. This was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. God Emperor be praised. I am lucky to still have my head on my shoulders. After this reckless experiment, nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even the macerator can handle its temper. So we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All the data related to the experiment recorded in data crypt K040H. I will get back to them later once I am done with experiment H41OK. Have I mentioned that the chunk of meteorite found by Keeper Felix subjects is completely useless? Although its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child. Yes, I think I'm going to do exactly that. These notes are actually rather useful for a little puzzle that comes later on. A puzzle I have never bothered to actually figure out how to solve. Ubi! Servant! Somebody talk to me! Anyone! For some reason, the archenemy's twisted influence... Okay, so chaos is starting to bleed in and affect things. And people are going crazy! Generally, when you start to get chaos in your soup, you want to burn the soup with fire. Just hit it with a big old bomb of napalm. And one last door. And there it is! The cogitator. The cogitator's vid screen is covered in cracks, stained with dried blood. The buttons, switches, and levers are ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. Awaken the cogitator. You turn a few of the remaining dials, pull the activation lever, and the cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flickers. The cogitator's insides emit creaks and groans, and the lumens oscillate at random. Lumens are light bulbs. It takes a while, but eventually the machine's spirits do grant you access to the cogitator's systems. Request data on the station's navigators. Philip Orsilio, location main hall, status alive. Theobald Orsilio, location upper chamber, status alive. Calomiro Orsilio, dead. Alexius Orsilio, dead. Rasmus Esteban Orsilio, dead. A lot of dead people. Child, upper chambers, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temperature, stress levels permissible, status unknown air. Attention! Calming procedures devised. Attention, upper chambers inaccessible. Air, the control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact the station keeper. Blah, 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 blah. Examine the log. View Vox report 12-8. Vox recording hisses for some time before we hear voice. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on lower levels. Chambers A to D are on power. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Requesting back. Ooh, something went wrong. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression in living quarters. Located traces of mechanical interference. Somebody is sabotaging this place. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winter Scale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. A rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor, you hear me? Anyone! If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. And if you're not in doubt, you should shoot yourself. Because only a traitor knows no doubt. Let's look at the recent entries. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. Ha ha! This child is bad. We might need a late term abortion. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. The negotiations with the Winter Scales are a success. A batch of new servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It's imperative we increase the new retainer resistance to child's powers. Data expunged. Alright, let's look at the docking log. Identity confirmed. Region Arantio or Celio. Data visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Departure classified. Examine the security and life support logs. Warning! Damage to technical compartments. Blah, 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 blah. Detected. Warning! Living quarters. Blah, 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 blah. Depressurized. Warning! Unable to access station's docking system. Warning! Energy regulation system unknown error. The station will transfer over emergency power. Immediately evacuate the facility. Warning. View the encrypted data. Required access level. Security captain above current. Okay, so we're going to try to tech use break this thing. And we succeeded. Easily bypassed the experience. Whatever. It's been wiped. What? The guard captains, only the keepers of the station have access to life support systems, but Keeper Theobald had not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that... Alright, return to the list of available commands. Call Recad Minoris. Can't get in touch with anybody. Switch to main chamber controls. Open the door, all doors on the level. A whole bunch of zeros. Alright, so I know from experience that it's 6. You get 7 options, you pick 6, and that opens up this big door here, which you need to open up in order to continue to go forward. And for some reason they show it painstakingly slowly, because we get lost really easily, I guess. I don't know. Even I don't get lost that easily. Alright, we do 7, it goes back. Main elevator controls. Activate the elevator. Return to list of available commands. Step away from the cogitator. Alright. We have the elevator working again. Now we can continue on with our mission. Yay! I'm so happy. Alright, let's go back to here. You notice those statues are kind of warped and bent? Oh my god, what is that? That's creepy. Medicaid 80.
Duty prevails.
Okay, so it's a broken machine that used to house all sorts of weird fluids. Let's not touch this fluid.
Empyrean guides my gaze.
I don't want to know about weird fluids. Ooh, Talisman of Changing Ways. I wish you could take some of these trophies and like put them on your character to make them look like just change how the character looks. I do wish you could do more customization of, I wish you could do more customization in character's appearance. That is one thing I would love to see them change. Right now, all you can do is toggle on or off equipment. You can't really do much about... Alright, so we are in the lab, which we needed to be in if we wanted to be able to remake the control rod. But if we get the recipes right, we can also make... Oh, there's a Medicaid. The Medicaid guy has arrived. Is alive. Alright, let's remake the control rod. Alright, we remade the control rod. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use all the little stuff we gathered. First, we're going to go through the transducer, and we need to crush that crystal.
I see the forbidden.
And get the goods out. I got to get the goods. Oh, yeah. Go to transducer, crush this adamantine. Alright, we're going to need both of those. There are 2 recipes we can actually pull off here. So we go to Eurac V, recipes, and Eurac V laboratory. Alright, so we need to combine the tissue flask, mutated flesh sample. So we go over here, data crypt connector. We need the data crypt H41OK. Alright, put an H41OK. And then the tissue flask, we need the mutated flesh sample. Alright, and then we go to catalyst flask. We need the biogel. And then lastly, in the reagent flask, we need the crystal dust. Alright, so now what we do is we press the button. By pressing the button,
how fascinating,
we get a thing. And the thing is adaptive antidote. Grants immunity to toxic damage, inflicts a -10 penalty to toughness until the end of the combat. This is useful if you're facing enemies that can poison you. You can stab yourself with it and, well, heal some toxin damage. Alright, now let's do the second recipe. I'm just looking these up online because I'm a basic bitch and I don't really mind looking stuff up. I'm bad at puzzles, okay? I'm really bad at puzzles. And so I don't care. Anytime I run across a puzzle or a dialogue tree and I need to get a particular result, I just the unidentified acid, I just look it up. Oh, I didn't actually get the adamantium dust. Ha ha ha! Farfig Newton. Alright, adamantium dust. Activate the device.
A revelation was sent to me.
And we leveled up! Alright, Elixir of Warp Neutrality. Grants immunity to warp damage and inflicts a -10 penalty to fellowship. But the user cannot deal warp damage until the end of combat. Do not, when you're facing demons, you can use this. It's really good for that. Do not ever use those, do not ever let Cassia, or Adira, or our main character, since she's a pyromancer, ever use this, because they will not be able to use their warp powers for the rest of the combat. And it sucks. Now, you may be wondering, what happens if we just guess and get the wrong recipe? Does it destroy the items? Let's find out, class. Let's try the last set of items we've got. It said there were... Why did it only give us 2 recipes when we've clearly got enough stuff to make a 3rd one? Must be a hidden recipe. A secret reward that I once again forgot to take the dust out. I am a goober. Alright. So, put everything in. We press the magic button and... Explodies. Explodies. Oopsie poopsie. Alright, so let's go and level up our characters. So, we are actually not going to buy more abilities from the warrior class. We're going to buy more firepower, more powers. The first thing we want to do is get orchestrated flames. So, orchestrated flames means you do not stop burning. You no longer make Tessa stop burning. That's good if you want to light somebody on fire and just have them burn, 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 burn. In addition, if the target is an ally, every melee attack that ally makes inflicts full burning damage on the target's attack, while they themselves now only suffer half burning damage from now on. This is an essential ability for the Pyromancer build. Alright, so let's see. Nope. You might want to do Carouse. Carouse is really good at resisting negative effects of poison, stimulators, or alcohol. It gives us a chance to just not take those negative effects of those stims we use. Coercion is also really good. Ooh, the Corrupted Inferno Pistol gives us a bonus to Coercion? Oh, that's awesome. It's so badass looking, it scares people into being compliant. Nice. Let's go with Coercion. I'm gonna buff my Coercion. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a very good idea. Alright, so one of the most important things he can get is Reckless Strike. Breakthrough is garbage. Not even gonna try to explain why. Forceful Strike. Also kind of garbage because you're basically spending an AP point to get a push effect added to your weapon, which you can get from like half the melee weapons in the game. There's no point in getting it. Taunting Scream. That can be useful because it causes everybody in a big area around you to target that character. If you build that character to be good at taking priority target damage, in other words, there's a whole bunch of abilities you can get to where if a character is a priority target, they get huge bonuses, and their allies get huge bonuses against anybody that considers them a priority target. And that's actually a pretty good build for Abelard. So I'm going to go with Taunting Scream. Alright, now Abelard is usually my main athletics guy. Athletics is a really important skill. You need to use it a lot to get across things. Obstacles and move debris and stuff like that. So it's actually one of the most important skills to keep maxed out in your party. All right, Adira, she's going to get a class talent. Now, there's a lot of useful common talents she could get, but it's almost always better to get a talent from your archetype first before you get anything else. So she's already got continuous analysis. So the things I like to get is Uncanny Sight, which means she puts exploits on everybody. Joint Offense is really good because it means everybody benefits from exploits. And if she's constantly putting out exploits, every turn she puts an exploit on anybody she can see. So she's always constantly piling up exploits. And continuous analysis, which she already has, means she hands out one additional exploit every turn for free. I'm going to go with Joint Offense so that she can always be improving her allies' chances with her exploits. Does mean, though, she needs a really good intelligence. Right now, her intelligence is 30. That's awful. So we are going to put points into intelligence. We need to get that at least up to a 40. I like to get it to a 60. She's honestly not a great operative because she starts with pretty awful perception and intelligence. So you know, dumping a lot of points into it to make it work. All right, and now we level her soldier. She's going to get ballistic skill. Always max out Argenta's ballistic skill. Always max out Argenta's ballistic skill. always max out Argenta's ballistic skill. Alright, Argenta wants to get controlled shot first. Controlled shot lets her spend an AP point to be able to still do her burst attacks and not risk hitting her allies, which is really helpful, especially later on when you get a heavy bolter and you're pumping out 20 shots that do like 15 damage a hit. You really need to be able to ignore your allies. So the two big ones for her are controlled shot and rapid fire, but controlled shot is more important to get first. So we'll go to complete. And we have our leveled up characters. Alright, so we pretty much cleared this entire space. We just need to go back to Felic, and I'm going to distribute some of our stims. So let's see. I'll put those persuasion gloves on me for now. Look, they're so pretty. Look at my pretty glovies. Let's put some sorting in here so we can see what the heck we're working with. Okay, I'm going to give myself this regular flak chest plate because that's... Luckily you can go... Okay, so I told you we explained cargo. So we're going to go to the cargo manager. And you see, when you look here, it's like a bunch of stuff that says different types, and it's got 100% with a check behind it or something. You're like, well, where's the actual stuff I've been sending to cargo? Is it just deleted now? No. It's categorized. And each one has a certain value that's like a percentage of its total value towards one unit of that thing. Like, it's almost like filling up a cargo container of heretic trophies, right? You got to fill up a cargo container of heretic trophies. You got to get 100% worth of heretic trophies. So we're going to put them in ascending order, and then we're going to click on the actual thing. And here we can see all the things we've been collecting. Most of this, if it's got a red border, it's just goods, meaning we can't use it for anything else other than filling out cargo. However, if it doesn't have a red border, it's stuff we can actually use as equipment. Most of this stuff is just going to fill in equipment space. You can see it takes like 7 scrappy auto pistols, 1 auto pistol, 6 las pistols, 3 las guns, and 2 scrappy auto guns, and we're still at 95% of a cargo container full of ranged weapons. Let's go down further. Alright, so we got a flak chest plate. What I'm looking for is, I thought I had some better medium armor available. And it looks like I do not. So I guess I gotta go with the Carapace chest plate. Alright. And now we gotta jump over. And Wassarian will make the check for us. I think we all just like get on his back and like stand, you know, like, and he hops up, you know? I don't know how exactly he is the only one to make the check. It's kind of interesting.
Embrace true power.
Alright, so this guy is a douchebag and a dirty, rotten schemer. And we can either confront him about that now, or we can confront him about it later with the help of Lady Cassia's guards. And I'm curious, what do you guys think? Should we just go upstairs and talk to Lady Cassia? Or we should try to confront the guy? And when we do confront him, should we murderize him for being a bastard? Or we should go, hey, no, we like your bastardry. We can work with that. Vote in chat. Don't confront. Kill. Befriend. The crossroads, there are 2 paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks so poor and flimsy. They fall at the slightest touch. One hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Tell me more. What paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. But you simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you most like. I think I'm slipping into like Italian. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Who is who? Who do you see behind the masks? My whispers are giggling nastily. They will not speak. The naughty little things! Naughty, naughty, naughty! Naughty, naughty, naughty! They say that tearing off the mask is your concern. Thank you, everything. Thank you. I did not understand a single word. This station has enough problems without your sorcery, Psyker, fellow Corsilio says. He's a mutant that sees through the warp. Alright, so we're gonna confront him. I have many questions about what happened to the station. You think they are worth the life of my mistress? The madmen I fought were convinced that we were the traitors. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dare to raise their hands against Sion's noble bloodline? The servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Most corpses I discovered were either unarmed or feeble. But you really think mere servants could plan a coup? The senior officers are just as guilty. Half my guards butchered one another because they suspected treason. As for the real culprit, the coup was staged by those closest to the mistress. Destroying the shuttles, shutting off the power, and disabling the security systems, too many things required special access. Access only available to the keeper of the station. As I'm sure you're aware, there were two keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Orsilio, the demented old man obsessed with Lady Cassiana power. And also the one to blame for the woes that have befallen Eurac V and our noble line. I listened to a recording of a private conversation within the station's officers. You were very lenient toward them. You were like super nice and showing loads of favoritism, and it was totally not cool. Purposefully neglecting the security protocols. I was lenient, this is true, and in the end I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us! The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home! I saw the security captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the station's systems, but Theobald stayed at his side the entire time. And could not have initiated the self-destruct protocol. Which means he did it before the report was filed, or maybe after. You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of his way to preserve what little there is still left? By the God Emperor, you will keep these slanderous accusations to yourself. Alright, so what do we go with? Do we say, alright, fine, we believe you, Philip. Let's move on and get this thing done with. Even though we don't believe him, because he's a lying little snake. Enough! I would not trust you as far as I can throw you, Philip Orsilio. Or enough lies, Philip. I am certain you're the one behind this coup. We're going to go with number 3. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw it. It really is time to end this. Felix squares his shoulders and gestures his guards. I was hoping to find an ally in you, but now you are merely delaying the sorrowful end of the story. Prepare to die! Oh, shoot. Actually, I was hoping I could, I selected the wrong ending. I meant to, be nice, but whatever. We're gonna get into a fight, kill him, we'll get some kit. I kinda wanted to kill him anyway, just because, you know, it's more stuff to sell. Looting corpses is the most fun. I love looting corpses. Look, if you don't like looting corpses, there's something wrong with you. I'm just gonna say it. Okay? What kind of freak doesn't love rifling through the pockets of the dead? I am going to take your silence as proof that you agree with me. Alright. We, dear people here, this channel, we stan grave robbery. We stan grave robbery in this channel. Okay? I don't want to hear one negative word about it. Alright, so he's going to pop Brace for Impact, which effectively does nothing other than hand out a little bit of deflection for everybody within 3 squares who is a friend. And I am going to have him pop Taunting Scream. Actually, no, not yet. He's not going to catch enough people in it. So, first he's going to charge this dude directly in the face. And then he's going to issue a Taunting Scream, which should catch not most of those guys. That sucks. Well, it catches some of them. Let's chop his face again. Yeah, you dick. Dick. I like seeing people die. It gives me the jigglies.
Follow my lead.
Thankfully, everybody here is as bad a shot as Sister Agenda. Alright, momentum is... The more momentum you have, the more likely you are to get a heroic action, which is pretty awesome. You want to give me as can. So when we pop this, she gets 6 momentum.
Faith without deeds is
She
worthless.
can get more if she's surrounded by enemies. Since there's somebody in her way... I don't see a good... Ooh! No, I won't be able to get a good angle to catch both of these guys with a burst fire. So I am going to move her to right here.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Let me see if I can get that burst fire. 39%? I mean, it's not terrible. Alright, I'll go for
Emperor
it.
commands, I act.
Oh, she hit once! Hit the wall a bunch of times,
I'll do
but
it.
she hit other stuff, too. I guess. Yay!
Guided
Alright,
by
sister,
faith.
move over here. Another one. Yeah.
Doubt
Alright.
is for the weak.
She loves doing burst fires. Loves burst fires, and it's terrifyingly effective. Terrifyingly effective. When she's got, So this Felic Orselio character can do a crap ton of damage. So we really, really want to charge into combat with him as quick as possible.
I need no guidance.
Unfortunately, so now we're going to set ourselves on fire.
I will triumph.
And then we're going to orchestrate flames. And then we're going to end our turn. And next turn, we'll chop him with a flaming axe.
Just a
I don't know why we have to set our entire body on fire to set up a flaming axe, but...
Follow my lead.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Moving out.
When you dodge an area attack weapon, the whole character moves. The character actually moves out of the area, actually moves over 1 square to get out of the area effect. Alright, so let's move Adira over here, because she needs to deliver just a touch of death. No, I don't have the shotgun for her yet. Oh, I forgot to go into the... Got to go in my quarters. There's some cool equipment I got there. Alright, so why don't you give him a forewarning, and drop an exploit on him, and mind blast him.
Will do.
Scream into his brain. Oh, come on, girl. Ooh, I should have to do lightning. Ah, screwed up.
I must not falter.
That's okay. We're still gonna kill them all. Bye, Jolly Raja. No, I don't want to have him charge.
My
That
place
means I
is at the fore.
have to pay 2 points for 1 attack. Charge is not always the best option.
At your beck and call.
Taunting Scream to draw their fire. Choppy McChopperson
It
to the
will
facey
be done.
face. And
Indeed.
Endure. Alright.
Accept
Oh,
my
yeah,
offer.
look at that. 17 damage on the hit, and then another 5 damage from the fire. Alright, so let's go over to right here so I
I
can
will
get
bathe this
an angle on
battlefield
these
in righteous
guys.
fury. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Oh, so close. One more hit. One more hit, and I think the guy would have been dead. Alright, I took a little bit of
Sow
damage.
the seeds of discord.
But you see how hard that hit. I did 22 damage in 1 hit with that flaming axe. 1 hit. Now I'm going to charge over here.
Purpose guides.
And I'm going to use my heroic action to take another turn.
Guide my
And that means I'll be able to come over here and chop this fool in the face.
Monster of blood-soaked
And he explodes! He just explodes. 21 damage. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Through chaos, I
I love it. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy. I can't fire somebody else. And he's out of range from a flamer. Alright, fine. I'll just
Purpose
endure.
guides me.
I'll just endure so I won't take as much damage next turn. I can't kill anybody this turn, which I really wanted to do. I don't feel whole unless I'm murdering somebody every turn. You know? I don't feel like... I feel like my life is kind of a waste unless I'm ending life every single turn. What is life without murder? I ask you, chat. What is life without murder?
But of course.
Boom! Blast him in the face. She's going to forewarn herself. And...
anything is?
expose his weakness. She looked into the secret folder. Not good to do that. Don't look in the secret folder!
God Emperor, move through me.
Why is it labeled Nike shoes? No reason.
I'll do it.
Oh, come on, Argenta.
As the Emperor commands, I
You
act.
made me so sad. It requires 3 points to reload this thing. It's just, it really sucks. That sucks. That sucks so much. Luckily, I'm over here, and I can charge next to somebody. And I'll still have action points left, so I can chop you in the choppy
What a
face.
satisfying demise.
Yeah.
One step closer.
Unfortunately, the chopping in the choppy face already took up my attack, so I can't ignite, and because I don't have dual weapon, I can't make an attack, the dual weapon ability, I can't make an attack with my Corrupted Inferno pistol.
Follow my lead.
Unfortunately.
Pain cleanses the body.
Weather the storm.
Oh, come on. Oh! She killed him by whacking him with her staff in the back of the head. Oh, that's great. That's the first time I have ever seen her kill anybody in melee with her staff. Oh, God, that's great. Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful.
There is
It makes me happy in a way I can't explain. Exploit.
Will do.
Expose weakness. Stop hunting down our porn stashes.
Was that you?
No. Mother, I'm sorry. Alright, Avalar's gonna move over here and Choppy McChopper for some face.
I will do my reduced to dust.
Great thing about a chain sword is if it gets stuck, you just keep pressing down and eventually it cuts all the way through the meat. Alrighty. Alrighty. One guy left.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Argenta, can you finish him? Missed 3 out of 4. Alright, so we're going to have her do a heroic action, and she's just going to pump shots directly into him. Her heroic action lets her fire up to the limit of the rate of fire of her weapon, without spending any action points, which is really good. Really good. If she gets a higher rate of fire.
I'll do it.
And her single shots are more accurate than the burst fire, so there's a pretty decent chance she can kill them. Alright, she's going to use run and gun, which makes her make another attack at reduced AP cost. She missed every shot! Oh my god, you're such a bad shot at the early part of the game. Lady, you need to...
Your efforts
go back to the range. Go back to the freaking range and cry, because that's all you're good for.
Amidst the carnage, I find purpose.
You are a shame to the sisters.
Death
Okay,
shall
there.
reign.
Everybody's dead, thankfully, finally, as it should be. If you walk out of a room and you've left people alive, well, you haven't really been through that room. I have a very clear philosophy when it comes to life in that regard. Alright, so Felix is going to give us some decent stuff. He gives us this Deadshot stub revolver, which hits like a freight truck in these great tactical goggles, which are really good for a character that wants to boost their crit and hit chance. This is really good on someone like Sister Argenta, because she already has really good crit chance and she needs a little more hit chance, as we can clearly see. We aren't going to see Staff Orsilio Staff. That's only for... we've already got Keeper's Control Rod, but we can't get another one. Alright, so let's equip... Okay, so we're going to give her that. And then we're going to go over to him. In my eye. Hair in my eye. We're going to give him this helmet. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to give me this helmet. Alright, and then we're going to go to her and we're going to give her a shotgun. We're going to give her a shotgun because it makes her better at clearing out space. The shotgun is one of the few non-pistol weapons you can actually use when there's an enemy right next to you. We don't need the armored body gloves, so we can put it in cargo. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and give him the Deadshot revolver, because it's a really, really good... Because it can only be wielded by a character with at least a strength of 35. And it hits like a Mack truck for a pistol. And I'm going to replace her regular auto pistol with the Ripper auto pistol. And move all the rest of this stuff to cargo. Alright. No, no, no. Alright, go up. The pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from her scarlet misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament, and when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. As the otherworldly creature's gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror and flashes of past warp nightmares. I survived a brush with the warp phenomenon sometime in my distant past. I wonder what that could be. Re-emerge from the shadows of your memory and paralyze your will. You gasp for air in terror, drowning under a crashing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in so much pain? Do these feelings even belong to you? I'm so deep in my fifis. I'm fifi. A deer emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Something like that, I guess. I don't know. Ow, ow, ow! As if my own little pals weren't bad enough. Now this one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her! Heresy! Argenta looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head. Her white hair veils her face. Alright, so we don't have an Iconoclast yet. We haven't gotten enough points in Iconoclast. But we need to get her to stop crying. We already put points into coercion, so we're going to go with the coercion one. By the Emperor, if you do not stop your sorcery immediately, I will shoot you in the head. Not my preferred one, but we really don't have anybody that does good persuasion. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both the sob and the howl of a small wounded animal. I don't know what that was. I feel ashamed of myself again. I'm very good at making myself feel ashamed. So you will probably, if you stick with this channel, you're going to witness my disgrace for ages to come. Piling up upon piling up. And you know what? It'll never make me a better person. I'll just get worse. Especially if you keep watching. So please, keep watching. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both the sob and the howl. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you, who are you? You, girl, may address me as your ladyship rogue traitor. And under whose tutelage did you learn etiquette? The Space Wolves? I am Lady Navigator Cassia Tisifia Evriala Orcelio Porpelio di la Cara Pareguera Vogunde Montide Soprano. You may address me as... What is this? I feel faint. The heavy-set old man who has been kneeling nearby erupts into low sobs, his eyes swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room, as though the veil of ignorance has just been ripped away from them. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you, sacred child? Throne preserve! Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You! The old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet black veins, and his bulging, milking eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet sense assaults your nostrils, as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move will bring the wrath of Althorcilio down upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain! This one's so deranged it's making the whisper shake like crazy! He might just open that eye of his.
Threatening the head of the dynasty is a Grey's offense, esteemed whoever you are.
Well, our best is Abelard. He's got a 100% chance of passing this persuasion check. At present, I'm trying to determine what is happening on Eurac V. Let's go with that one. So, how we handle this... Oh, what did I miss? I'm sorry. What did I miss? What did I miss on chat? No, I'm sorry. I've been responding. I talked to chat. Should I chat to chat? Should I type to chat? You're gonna have to explain what I'm doing wrong in more detail, and you need to be more responsive. Besides, I'm acting here. I have been responding. I responded to Sakuma. I responded to Ashen Knight. I've responded to some of your things. I'll grant you that you do not look like pirates who have come coveting the riches of a wrecked station, or like scoundrels of Felix service. So who are you? I'll face this way, so I'm not missing chat. Abelard, introduce us.
Her ladyship, rogue trader Bianca von Valencias, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Cronus Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, extends her greetings. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy? How interesting. Your kind always makes an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful, and so House Orcelio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today if you decide.
What is this curse that's taken hold? Curse you do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. And if the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. The child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone, for she is the heir of House Orselio. And they call me dangerous with my witchcraft. You look. What service do you ask of me? Save the sacred child. Take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. Save the child and deliver it safely to Regent Aranto, acting head of House Orselio in the Cronus Expanse. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after seeing everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Such a fragile thing, with such a heavy burden on her shoulders. I want to know what happened between you and Felik. Felik is my wayward student. He came to Eurac V as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him to the care of the child. With the care of the child, he was like a son to me. A very stupid and ugly son, whom I barely tolerated. I'm not a very talented I'm not naturally gifted to fatherhood, to be perfectly honest. I definitely play favorites. But he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child. Oh, the little baby. Our little baby. A little full-grown adult baby who can make people murder themselves. To revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss, to pervert the century-long traditions of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided that he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of greatest of our Novators, Tisiphone Orselio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy, the renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the Novatos throne. You were talking as if you expected to die here. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Felik inflicted on my flesh will never heal. I am dying. Praise the throne slowly enough to see the child is taken care of. I believe I made my decision. Cassia shall come with me. Good, that is good. But do allow us to say our proper farewells. Wake up, my mistress, my sacred child. It is all over now. It is over. What happened?
What?
You, I remember you. Have you come to save us? Child, please listen carefully one last time. We will now embark on a voyage with this lady to rejoin the house and its regions in the Cronus Expanse. I will not be able to accompany you on this journey.
No, not you too. Don't leave me alone in this violet-brown haze. You're coming with me. Your mistress is giving you an order. Do you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice that they had voiced this part.
Mistress, I fear this will be your only order that I dare to disobey. I am the keeper of Eurac V, and alas, I have less than a day left in me. Allow me to serve you one last time and honor my final duty to House Orselio. I will remain on the station and destroy the secrets it holds.
Oh, Theobald.
No one will find your secret folder on the computer. I regret that we had to meet under such circumstances.
What need have I for your regrets?
What are you going to do to me?
Okay, so this is a very, very important moment. You have to pick a specific answer to this question if you want to have any hope of romancing her. If you don't pick the right answer, you can never romance her, ever. The correct answer is, Lady Cassia, let us aid one another, become a navigator, and I shall restore you to House Orselio at the earliest opportunity. Well, actually, you can pick one of two. So, you can pick number 2, Lady Cassia, I, Bianca Valentius, rogue trader of the Imperial Man, offer you my protection and grant you shelter aboard my vessel. You have to pick one of those two. Can't boss her around. She's a very sensitive flower. Or piece of kelp. But if you pick the latter one, it encourages her to be more independent later on. If you pick the former, it encourages her to be more... Okay, we're going to unleash the Riz. Lady Cassia, let us aid one another. Become my navigator, and I shall restore you to House Varsilio at the earliest opportunity.
Do not fear what is to come, child. You are ready to guide any vessel. I know this because I taught you myself. And it is difficult to imagine more worthy company than a rogue trader. But remember, your safety is of paramount importance. Get to the Great Regent and fulfill your destiny.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Eurac V is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
If you pick the one that says she can bring her servants, it makes her even more well-disposed to you. All can be saved while giving succor aboard my ship.
Accompanying a rogue trader on their travels is an honor for any navigator. Let us go. I can no longer bear the sight of the deathly pale shadows that drape the bodies of the fallen.
And with that, we get a navigator in our party. Well, eventually. She doesn't actually join until we get back to the, Alright, so let's loot the room. There's stuff to take over here. I did unleash the Riz. You're gonna see me unleash some powerful Riz on this girl later on. She's gonna be like, damn! You make my fishy gills quiver. Look, she may be high maintenance, but she a freak in the sheets.
I tread a path unexplored.
Right now I'm looking for any other skill tests I can take and any other bits of things I can pick up. Alright, so let's go to the lower level. Ah, there we go. We have to click on the lower level. Alright, so now we can level her up. So she starts with 3 levels already. I don't really like this one. So we're probably going to retrain her because I don't like Inspire Courage. Persuasion is really good for her to get. All of these are really good abilities. As a officer, she's going to be needing these. I don't know why I'm even bothering. Mastery of Time, sure, let's go with that. It doesn't, none of this really matters, so. I will go over what I'm actually going to build her as when we get back to the ship. Alright, so when we leave a place, if we missed anything, they give us the opportunity to grab it on the way out. Looks like we missed one of the laboratory journals, which would have shown us how to finish the other recipe. Another laboratory journal, another chronicles. Ah, this is a good one. Warp grants plus warp willpower bonus to warp. Gotta find out. Gotta know. That's right. I speak words good. Okay. I got the big chair. Lord Captain. Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breath comes short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Decision consequences. These kind of things pop up. It's kind of cool. Yeah, someone asked about whether or not you railroad, whether or not this has as much freedom as Baldur's Gate. No, but it is much better than Baldur's Gate about calling back and explaining exactly how the game is different because of your choices, which I really like. You decide not to make use of the charm that could inhibit Cassia Orsilio's powers. I accidentally missed that dialogue option. First, I wish to speak to the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course, when you are ready for the show, please let me know. On Easy Listening 95.1. What did you wish to speak to me about? I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded so much with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position. For that I am immeasurably grateful. I convinced her to depart of her own free will. That's what she had to do. If you compel her to leave, she will not romance you. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants. I saved your servants, especially my valet. Ube served me on the station for more than 5 years. Ube, ah! Much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys. He's very attentive. He gets all the scales from in between my toes. Through the immaterium and what to serve me for request, his presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. I shall ensure that all necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. I'm not going to ask about all this stuff unless you guys really want me to, because we're kind of running low on time and I want to get to the next part. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. Few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is open. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge. May the Emperor's light help us all. The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clinking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence. Initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uwe. My pinky toe is feeling crusty. The exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whisper of the brush. Go! Footsteps hurrying away. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foamy waters, armadas drowning in the fog. The path from one end to the other cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit. Of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone! The Voxmaster recoils at Cassie's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panel beneath her finger emits sparks, and the Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting out the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard an NPR, the worst speaking through a navigator before. This will be a new experience for all of us. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. And I hope you'll join us for cooking recipes at 5. Cassia! Cassia, are you alright? Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain, their throats raw from the strain, and then sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's right, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them.
Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around my brush. Only draws me onward. The way is blocked.
You hear a heavy exhale, rustling fabric, and metallic clicking.
By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me.
In dialogue. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Spare me a few moments of your time, please. There are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I want to report the condition of the station Eurac V. Had you opted to begin the visit of the recad system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, a decision to immediately visit the representative of Navis Nobility bought us precious time. We can either send our forces to disassemble the station and procure technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. Alright.
Yes, there are people in the room specifically to be sacrificed. There are people who are chosen to go in that room and sit there and wait for her to psycho murder them so that she can make a connection to the warp. Every time a vessel jumps through the warp, they conduct a human sacrifice.
Yeah, I know. Damn.
This is real, like, sorcery. Like, traveling through the warp requires human sacrifice. The Aztecs ain't got nothing on the 41st millennium.
Alright, so should we gather components to better equip our ship? Or should we get more loot to trade later on for better gear? I think the loot also gives us profit factor. Let's see if it'll tell us exactly what we get. Ah, yes, the loot gives us profit factor. Profit factor is really, really important. I don't know. It never addresses that. It never addresses whether or not they're willing. Then again, consent... Well, the Imperium isn't really big on consent. So I don't think it matters whether or not they're willing. I say we go with the profit factor. Profit factor is really important early on. Later in the game, we got so much profit factor we can get anything we want. But early in the game, you got to scrape for every bit of profit factor if you want to get those critical pieces of kit. Alright. With your permission, I would like to remind you that we are still looking for an Engine Seer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrich von Kalex, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for sure he was not on Eurac V, so keep this in mind when making any future plans. No, actually they have specific in-game effects, depending. If you pick to get ship components, you get a random better quality ship component than what you got. If you pick profit factor, you get profit factor, which gives you guys better access, gives you access to better gear early on. If you pick the just runaway option, oh, the sacrifices. Yeah, I mean, they're screwed either way. They're just kind of screwed either way. Why is it always business with you, Vigdis? Couldn't you sometimes just visit and tell me how wonderful everything is? And, just, tell me I'm pretty? A girl needs reinforcement. She needs, affirmation. Certainly, Lord Captain. If you are interested, this week passed with record low rate of minor disturbances on the lower deck. A senior technomac from Shift 8 came up with a new formula for a lubricant used in kitchen servitor implant maintenance. The quartermaster of store compartments. Remit 11 reported recently we are spending ceremonial decorations at least 20% slower than expected. They have a ceremonial decorations budget. Which means we have enough tablecloths, carpets, and lamps to last us 15 years of grand receptions instead of 10. Even considering that some of the stock was burned during the cultist attack on the vessel. They're fighting chaos, and one of their concerns is, do we have enough to last 10 years or 15 of grand receptions? It shows you the amount of resources the Imperium actually has and how massively wasteful their military is. Oh, God. Alright, so we're going to go to the bridge. No, not void ship management. We need to go to the bridge, and we are going to retrain Lady Cassia. This will be the last thing we do tonight. I have, one of the mod effects I have in allows me to retrain straight from level 0, which means I can even pick an alternate starting archetype. I'm not going to do that because Officer is the best starting archetype for her. We're not going to bother asking him about all these questions. Eventually I would like to. It's kind of interesting. But my retinue and I are in need of training. So we go to Lady Cassia. Now, normally this would cost profit factor. But once again, I have a mod that eliminates that because it's stupid. It's stupid that it permanently costs you profit factor to retrain characters, especially when it's really easy to waste abilities. And abilities are precious. Ability choices are very precious, and it is really easy to accidentally waste them. Especially when you're learning the game. Next. Alright, so she needs persuasion. Bring it down. Finest hour. Alright, so let's get her first. So the first thing I want to get is lasting impression. This means her voice of command effect. Half the bonus lasts. So voice of command is something she can use every turn. Yeah, well, I'm a basic bitch. I don't like to have to work too hard for my stuff. Voice of command, based on her fellowship, gives a big increase to their characteristics for 1 round, but she can't target someone again for 2 rounds with that same ability. So, lasting impression lets them hold on to half that bonus for the rest of the combat. It's a really good one to get starting out. Because fellowship is the basis of all of her abilities, we're going to get that first. Mastery of time is a really good one as well. One of her basic abilities as an officer allows her to grant an extra turn, which is 2 AP to someone. Mastery of time says that anytime she does this, she gains a stacking +5 bonus to her willpower. And her willpower is also one of her very important stats, which determines the effectiveness of a lot of her abilities. Alright, so let's see. I'm trying to remember what the other ones, the really, really good ones to get are for her. Not Iron Discipline, not Lead by Example, March. The problem is a lot of the officer abilities aren't that great in of themselves. You have to kind of get some of their talents. I'm sorry, a lot of the officer talents aren't that great. You have to get abilities, which you can then buff, which then get a lot better. So I am going to go with personal oversight. No, not personal oversight. I'm going to go with commanding voice, which increases the range of her officer abilities and increases the range of voice of command so that even all the way across the battle, she can still buff the person she needs to. All right, and then we're going to buff her fellowship again. And there we go. She is now retrained. All right, so, folks, I had a really good time. I hope you had a good time, too. I know we started a little late. and we're ending right on time, but my voice is going out, and I have to wee again, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. Next time, what we will do is we'll have to decide next time whether we want to go to Recod Minoris, the capital, or if we want to go to Recod Philia, the prison planet. So I will go over the details of what's involved in each of those choices when we start the next session. I hope you guys have fun. Look out for those posts tomorrow about the games I'm going to be running, and links. Yeah, the games I'm going to be running. I'm still working on getting the YouTube set up so that I can upload the first session. This one should automatically post to the Twitch so people can rewatch it if they want to. And have a good night and much love.